Welcome, everybody. This is the RSN podcast. We're here to go ahead and show up our predictions. The title of this podcast is Money in the Bank predictions for the 2015 Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which airs this Sunday, the 14th of June. We're here to share our thoughts about each of the matches. So far, there's 7 matches on the card, unless they add a new match, which I highly doubt. So we're going to start off with the kickoff match, and we'll go slowly increasing up. So I'm checking online. It says 7, but Rich said it was 8. It's kind of conflicting. I mean, there might be a dark match here and there, but who knows? We'll see. Let's see. So the first match, the kickoff. They're talking about R-Truth.
The match is R-Truth versus King Barrett.
Yeah.
Which is really just a squash match. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be like the last 5-10 minutes of the pre-show.
Do you think they're doing that just to build up King Barrett?
To be honest, I have no idea why this match is even on the card.
Yeah, I think they just last minute just said, let's just put him on the pay-per-view. Just for the hell of it.
Just for the fact that they're not even in a real feud.
Yep.
Unless they're trying to start to build something, which will be ridiculous, being the fact Barrett has so much talent to hold a top mid-card title.
Yep.
So
but
this is just a weird matchup.
Yeah, but this begs the question, why didn't they put Barrett inside the Money in the Bank ladder match?
That's what I'm saying. He has enough talent to be up there. So this is just like a what the hell match.
Yeah, it's kind of like why? Why would they do this? You saw that? You saw Monday, right? With that segment.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was a botch. I thought it was a real life botch. Like they missed. Like they really really messed up. But when you see it, it looked like it was real. Like he really messed up. But then next thing you know, they find out. It was just another angle. I was like, wow, they're probably just adding to his character.
Ziggler was cracking up in the ring.
Yeah, Ziggler. Everybody was cracking up. Kane was like, "What the fuck happened here?"
You're not even in the match.
He was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" It's like he's not even in your spot. And then he's looking like, "Oh, sorry." And then right when he left, New Day came out and they're like, "Oh yeah," they started dying. I'm like, "Damn, that's fucked up, man."
So to be honest, my opinion for this match.
Who do you think is gonna win?
If you go back to one of our previous podcasts that we did for the over-under overused, my underused prediction, my underused selection in that podcast is going to be the winner of this match, King Barrett.
King Barrett, I see. I mean, for me, I think if they're trying to build this as an angle, they probably have like an upset victory with something where R-Truth wins. So I'm gonna have to go with R-Truth. I think R-Truth is gonna win. They're gonna add to his character.
Just to build
him. Yeah, just to build. Maybe to build him up too. You never know. Maybe
they might actually try and do a final run with Truth because he's like mid-40s right now.
Yeah, that's another thing. His age is catching to him. That maybe they could put him in NXT or something.
So we're splitting this match.
50-50.
Sal is saying Truth. I'm saying Barrett.
We're going 50-50 on this. That's what's up.
All right. I think is going to be the first match on the main card is probably the New Day versus the Primetime Players for the tag team titles.
Really? Because I'm checking online. They're saying what's next is a Divas match, but I highly doubt. The Divas match they're probably going to have as a
That's probably going to be towards the end of the show as like a
break. Take a break. Yeah,
like a relaxing match.
Mm-hmm. So this one is New Day versus the Primetime Players. PTP versus POP.
My Primetime Players, they finally deserve a damn title.
I agree. They're probably one of the biggest players right now. The way you see them, they've risen up and everything. From them breaking up.
If you think about it, ever since Darren Young came out of the closet and announced that he was gay, that's when they got so much uprising.
I mean, I don't think it's really not only that, but I think it's just
I think it just happens to be a coincidence that he comes out and they just shoot up.
Yeah,
one of the top teams.
True. I mean, it would be a story though, because if you see Titus, I mean, besides the fact that that they got that attention from that, but like if you see their work in the ring, they started improving a lot, especially Titus. You see Titus, a lot of people are telling him a lot of things. Hell, one of the best, one of the most famous wrestlers there, Batista. He was high on him. He said, "Why aren't you
he
pushing
loves
this
him.
guy?" He said, "Why aren't you pushing this guy? This guy is gold." And when he was in the ring, he shows that intensity and everything. He was a former football player, so he has that background. So
yeah, he was a Florida Gator.
Yeah, if he exactly, it's like straight from there, straight from there.
So so we're going 100% prime time.
Yeah, 100% prime time. PTP over POP.
All right.
Yep. So that's gonna. I mean, if you've seen over the past few months, the title's really been shifting back and forth. It hasn't stayed in one place.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good, or do you think that's kind of like oh, what the fuck?
I think that's actually good because that shows the talent of the tag team division, how it is really good right now. True. It's not like top, but it's like good enough to watch.
I think ever since the Usos left, that really brought a lot of opportunities to all the other tag teams.
Not even that. Once Cesaro and Kid became a team.
Yep. And they won the belts right there.
I think that's a great team.
Yeah. At first, I thought they weren't going to work at all. I said, they're not going to work. But then when you see their work in the ring, it was like, wow, these guys they're really good.
Because it's a mix of power and speed.
Yep.
Cesaro is the power, Kid is the speed. And
the way that they work, it's pretty intense.
I just like how that move with the Cesaro swing to the Kid drop kicks.
They should rename that to the helicopter or something. Helicopter of Doom or some shit. Like that is crazy.
Instant stop.
Instant stop. That's even better. I mean to see that. Speaking of instant stop, we got a collision. Two big men. Ryback and Big Show for the Intercontinental title.
I'm actually stuck between this one because from what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, this might be the final run for Big Show.
Really?
So if this is true with his final run, they might give him a title. I don't know.
Really? I mean, he did win the title at WrestleMania 29, and he had that short reign, but it was just to add to his, his accomplishments as a champion and everything. Yeah. But yeah, same thing. I'm kind of torn here. I'm like, will Ryback actually win the belt? Will he still retain a belt?
But if this is a final run, will they give it to Show?
Oh yeah. Will they give it to Show as a last match? But I doubt it, because if you've seen in the past, past few months, even before he left for the movie that he was doing recently, everyone's chanting. Everybody in the crowd, they were chanting, you should retire, and he took that to heart, and and you see what's going on screen and also backstage. Like they're probably having something. They're probably saying, "Oh, we should look back at this and say."
But if he retires, he's going to get a job with the company anyway.
Yeah,
probably as like a talent recruit or something.
Yeah, he's been loyal with the company for so long. Maybe even Tough Enough. Hell, Tough Enough's coming up soon. Maybe
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. Yeah, I mean they got the camps. They got letters going on now, and they're having a bunch of names show up on there. But I mean, it's endless.
To be honest, I can't really pick this match because I'm not even sure.
I think what they might have is Ryback wins, just so that he gets more over with the crowd. Because if you see in the past few weeks, he's probably gotten more over than anyone else.
Unless they want to actually try and build a big feud with this one, like a long-term feud.
Until probably.
So it might go Ryback. So I'll go Ryback with this one.
Yeah, I think the farthest they'll probably go, if it was a feud, would probably be like until SummerSlam, I'd say. But
SummerSlam, for whatever is after SummerSlam, probably.
Yeah, whatever. After like Night of Champions, probably something like that. But
I can see this lasting like 2 months. This feud.
Yeah, probably before that. But
speaking of SummerSlam, NXT is coming to the Manhattan Center.
Oh boy, that's gonna be gold. And the tickets? Did you even find out about the tickets yet?
Not yet. I'm still waiting.
That is crazy. That place has a lot of history with WWE back in the day. With the siren,
original Raw.
Original, very, very old school Raw, everything.
ECW arena.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of old school, what if I don't know if they really had an old school Raw at any point this year.
Not yet. They might though.
Maybe the next time they're at Manhattan Center, maybe they could do another old school Raw. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But so the next.
I just can't wait though for that. That's gonna be amazing.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. Plus, you see all this new things going on. I can't wait for SummerSlam to see what happens there.
Yeah.
SummerSlam in the Brooklyn Barclays Center.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right here in Brooklyn. Next match.
Paige versus Nikki Bella. I gotta go on my girl Paige.
Yeah. For Paige?
I love Paige.
Paige, I think I see something going on with Bella. I see that Bella, like, there was rumors that she's actually, she's about to leave now.
She's been leaving for so long.
Yeah, because she's just sick and tired. She said, "Oh, screw it, forget it." And what you see a lot of people do is they leave and then they do like movies or other stuff, anything else that's besides wrestling.
Well, I actually think if Nikki wins, just say, they might call one of the NXT girls up the night after. I just have a weird feeling.
Who do you think is gonna be?
The one that's been supposedly getting called up for the longest, Charlotte.
Charlotte, woo, that's what's gonna be there. I agree. I mean, if they do,
out of the 4 girls in NXT, who would I love to see come up? Becky Lynch.
Definitely, I would love
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, if you see what they're doing, they had a tryout match for a diva, Havoc.
Yeah, but
so now
the whole thing with her, she put something on Twitter that was racist. So
I heard about that. She deleted it, right? She said something about how.
But someone from WWE caught it.
Oh, really?
So that's actually hurting her right now.
Damn, these guys have no life. They probably look at each one of these people. They do a full screening of them, probably. It's crazy.
They have to. Because that could hurt the company's value.
True, that would. I mean, but you've seen incidents like Emma stealing the iPhone case from Walmart and, getting in trouble, getting fired, and then getting hired the next day.
Yeah, and if you realize what happened with her after that, she went straight downhill.
She went back straight down. I mean, I think there's some room for her, all at Divas and NXT. But you got to think, after the people get moved down to the main roster, who's going to be left in NXT? Because they still have to build that brand also. Because
they got all the new kids that are coming up. Uwa Nation. I don't know what his name is going to be.
Yeah, maybe they'll keep it. Maybe they won't. We have to see from there.
There's a lot of people that they actually brought in.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, though, in the next few months, especially with in the past few weeks, you see more of the NXT stuff getting brought in.
Yeah.
You start seeing an opening show this Monday's Raw.
But you know what, Sal? Now that you just mentioned NXT, there's an NXT fighter in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes, there is one. And it happens to be the high-flying.
The new sensation.
New sensation. The man that gravity
forgot. It's Neville versus Dolph Ziggler versus Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus versus Kane.
Sheamus and Kane. To see that, I mean, it's just to see this whole lineup here. Who do you think would win? Who do you think that's gonna win? Probably. I think we all know who has the biggest chance of winning.
I'm hearing 2 names that are supposed to be winning this match. I'm hearing Sheamus and Roman Reigns.
I agree. Yeah, I think.
Who would I love to see win? I have to go with the Show Off.
The Show Off.
That's who I would love to see win.
Really,
I would love to see the Show Off win another one.
A two-time Money in the Bank. That'd be crazy. I mean, if you look at all the participants, who here has been a Money Bank? Who has won the Money in the Bank match? Randy Orton so far.
Orton and Ziggler. Kane and Ziggler.
Orton, Kane, Ziggler. 3 people in the match. The chances of them winning, I'd say. I mean, I would have to disagree on you with Dolph. I don't think. Yeah, because the way that they're doing it, you see with the thing with Lana and Rusev.
Yeah.
Like if you saw on Monday, they probably just phased her out for a little bit. I think they're gonna bring her back for some kind of angle with Rusev.
I think they did that to just put her off TV for a little bit and come back as an American.
They could be. I mean, from what I heard, they're doing a big push for her. They're trying to push her into being this big diva now.
As a American diva, not a Russian diva.
I mean, you start seeing a little bit of it coming into her character. She did an interview where sometimes it starts coming out a little bit. She's like she holds back and she goes.
And then she realizes.
She's like, "Oh shoot, I just messed up.
It's like,
I can't stay here."
Let's go. Back to the Russian accent.
It's like, "Oh shit, back and forth." But I mean,
who's your selection?
I mean, if you see, I'd say I'm torn between Sheamus and Roman Reigns. Because if you see Sheamus is like a neutral guy. He's not with the Authority. He's not with anybody. He's not for anybody.
He's just
anything.
a heel.
He's just a heel. He's just playing hating on the crowd. The crowd's on him. And
he's just a rooster.
Yeah, he's just a rooster. He's a cock. He's a cock. That's it. He's a plain cock. That's it. He's just going out doing his own shit.
You look stupid.
That's it, straight up. He's
That was great.
stupid hair all the fucking time. He changes it every other day. It's like it's fucking crazy. But
he's actually gonna be in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie too.
Yeah, I've heard about that too. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But to see, like, I mean, to see that, if Sheamus really does win this, it'll change the picture up. Because if you've seen in the last year and a half, what has it mostly been? The Authority and some guy, either Danny Bryan, Roman Reigns, The Shield, whoever, it's always some kind of thing.
Now they got Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. I mean, what if they're ending it with Dean Ambrose by saying, okay, we're not gonna involve any more of the Shield, we're not gonna involve any more of the Authority. Let's just have it be neutral guys. So anybody. So every pay-per-view, it's a new guy. Probably.
Well, Seth is breaking away from the Authority.
I mean, you see that what happened on Monday, him breaking up and everything, and J&J. By the way, they did really good. J&J, yeah, they did really good in that match versus Kane. And I mean, Kane was right in the outside. They had some kind of thing going on, maybe a face turn, tag team championship along the way. We don't know. But if you look at the participants, I mean, Kofi,
he's talented.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about Kofi at all. I mean, Kofi, if he does win, do you think the Freebird rule would apply?
No, not for the heavyweight title.
You don't think?
That one I don't think will apply.
I mean, they were like, if Kofi wins, we all win. But I think they're just saying that just to, say, oh, Kofi won one for the team. Oh,
I think it's not going to apply, though.
I mean, it's, if they would make, like, an angle out of that, they could if they wanted to. Like,
if they do, that would be stupid, though.
I mean, TNA kind of did something like that, didn't they? They kind of did,
Beautiful People.
Beautiful People is that, yeah. They had it with Velvet Sky leaving. They took the briefcase, gave it to someone else. Oh, you're fired, not me. And then, boom. It's like, the fuck? But, I mean, overall, all the competitors, it's great to see Neville in the match. I think there should be more NXT people in the match. Zayn, probably with Zayn's injured.
Well, what I would love to see, which was just a rumor because it didn't come true, they were going to do a 6-man NXT main contract match. Instead of the Money in the Bank, it was going to be a main roster contract, which I would have loved to see. That would have been amazing.
That would be cool, too. That would be a good way to bring up someone, too, if anything.
The participants were supposed to be Baron Corbin, Atami, Baylor.
That's 3.
Sami Zayn.
4.
Tyler Breeze.
It's 5.
I think that was it.
Really, 5, man? There should be probably 2 more then. But
who else can you throw in, though? There's no, like, big talent.
Joe, maybe Yuha Nation could make his debut, if anything. But, I mean, that would have been cool, to see that. And that
would be the second pre-show match.
Yeah, fuck the pre-show. Fuck that kickoff match right there. Make that the pre-show right there. That's it. Just make that, an NXT match a pre-show. But I think what they're trying to do is trying to hold it back. They know how big NXT is. So they're saying, let's just hold off on that and just, let's just promote it as a separate entity. We can use it for later.
Well, now that you mentioned Joe before, a few moments ago, Joe's making his debut match tonight on NXT.
Yes, on NXT. And we're doing it at 7, so this is about less than an hour, less than half an hour he's going to debut. But it's a tape where we get to see it. So, I mean, that's gold.
Yeah.
But, I mean, speaking of Joe, the man that is having a multi-feud. This is like the only man in history that can have
4 feuds at once.
Yeah, 4 feuds at once and still be a boss. Like, seriously, that's crazy. The way this guy, he's gold. Like, it's crazy.
He's great on the mic.
He is the fucking future of this business. That ass.
He's great on the mic.
Yep.
He's talented as hell. Everyone knows him as Mr. Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens versus John Cena, number 2.
I think that should be the real main event. I mean, this is the first time you've ever seen it be like. I remember last year. What was it? It was the world title match, and then after that they ended the show with the Money in the Bank. This would be a good way. This would be the first. This would be actually the first to have the like before they used to have the Money in the Bank match and then either the world title match or the world title match and then the Money in the Bank. Here they can have the world, the Money in the Bank, and then after that end off with this.
This is a main event.
This is probably one of the biggest matches on the card. After what you saw in Elimination Chamber.
I was about to say that Elimination Chamber. That was the best match of the year. That was match of the year.
Guaranteed. That was probably one of the best matches. That's probably one of the best matches I've seen that involved Cena
In
since
a long
Lesnar.
time.
Yeah, since Lesnar and Cena in 2012.
You mean Suplex City?
Suplex City and 2012 before Suplex City was there.
Oh, so you're talking pre-Suplex City?
Pre-Suplex City. This is like when he came back. Remember that crowd?
Yeah.
I remember that vividly. That night when what'd you call it?
Oh,
Cena
the
comes
night
out.
after
He's like,
WrestleMania.
yeah. He's like, oh, I lost my match, and he started bitching. He's like, Rock, come out. I'm being a little bitch. You hear it? You're like, the fuck? Who's coming out? Then you hear this music, and oh shit.
Well, speaking of Lesnar, when do you think he's gonna come back?
I have a feeling he's gonna probably come back. I mean, they're saying that what they're saying so far. I mean, if you saw the podcast, Paul Heyman said he's coming back soon, and that's already everybody probably knows when he's coming back. He's probably coming back either I think Night of Champions or SummerSlam. Because if you think about it,
I would love to see him come back much sooner.
Yeah,
just for the fact I love the Paul Heyman promos.
Indeed, I agree. I mean, that podcast should have gone on a little bit longer. But if you see,
I guarantee you, Austin probably wanted that to go on for hours.
He wanted to, definitely, and you saw it towards the end where they were hinting a match, and he went in character. That was on sync. That was perfect. Yeah. Because you saw him getting pissed. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I don't want to fucking wrestle in this match." And he's like, "I'm just an advocate. I'm not doing." He's like, "Well, you better shut your fucking mouth." And he's like, "Oh, whatever." Shit. I was dead.
That was amazing, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and they were, they're cool. They know each other. At one point, you're like, "Oh shit, this is about to get hard." You're like, "Oh fuck, like something's about to happen," and the next thing you know, oh, nothing happened. It's like,
well,
right,
he was
cool.
Also was one of the original Heyman guys.
Indeed, he was. Or maybe would they do something like this? Maybe make Owens
a Heyman guy.
A Heyman guy, because if you see what's going on, a few months ago they tried to make Cena a Heyman guy, and people thought, that Cena was gonna turn heel, stay with Paul Heyman. I mean, if he was to stay heel, who would be the best catalyst? That'll be Paul Heyman, guaranteed. If you put Paul Heyman with anybody, you could make it with the best face guy. For example,
not even that. Look when Heyman was with Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel was over with Paul Heyman. People
thought he was gold, and he was gold. I mean, from there. Speaking of that, I mean that might be the dark match, or maybe the pre-show match. I mean, what they have on the site is the kickoff match, but I don't know about the pre-show match. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll have Mecha Powers or something, but we'll have to see from there.
But we never actually made our picks with Cena versus Owens.
What would you say? I think we all know what's gonna happen.
They're gonna make Cena win as a
setup.
Rebound. But I would love to see Owens win again. I just love Kevin Owens.
I mean, they could go either way with this. They could have Cena win and then have them fight a last match, like a best of 3.
Will this be Cena's longest losing streak at a pay-per-view then? 2 matches in a row?
I mean, that's another thing. That's a good angle too. I mean, they could probably say, Cena's been, champion, and this is his losing streak after, and nonetheless, on a guy that has his pay-per-view debut. This is his second pay-per-view in.
Not even in pay-per-view debut. This was his main roster debut.
Main roster debut, indeed. Yeah. I mean, that's just, that's gonna be crazy. That'll put Owens over second. It'll question Cena. It'll make people, will they lose faith in Cena? Which I really doubt. I doubt it. I don't think fans are still gonna like Cena. There's some fans that are just gonna be like, oh, that Cena's the best. Cena's gold. But there's other people that are just going to say, there's going to be people that are just like, telling me he sucks and everything. But we'll see, But we're so who would you say? Who would you say is probably going to win?
I say Owens.
Owens? I think Cena could win. I mean, if they do have Cena win, they'll probably have another match. I guarantee they're probably going to have another match. Probably
the best of 3.
Best of 3. Imagine that in Brooklyn. Owens versus Cena.
Oh, my God. That would be amazing.
That would be freaking crazy. But I mean, it'll be really it'd be an honor to find out, that they're actually fighting at SummerSlam. Then you'd be like, oh, they're fighting in Brooklyn, and I was in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn. Oh yeah. Shit!
This place is only 25 minutes away from us.
Exactly, and it's like that's it. We just, and it's an honor to just find out that it's gonna be these two having the best match probably in WWE history, probably one of the best. Yeah, and it's here in Brooklyn. That's gonna be history right there. But yeah. And what about our last match?
The main event.
The Architect versus the Lunatic.
The Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins.
The Architect of the Shield / Shield 2.0.
Versus the Lunatic Unhinged, Dean Ambrose.
John Moxley, a.k.a. What's his name in the Indies? Did he even have one?
I don't think so.
I mean, I know they call him John Moxley, but I'm not sure if they had any other name for that.
So John Moxley versus Tyler Black.
Tyler Black, yeah. Let's stick to their indie names because, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, it's like, come on. You guys are just, you guys don't want to use other people's name. All right, fine. Basically, what this is an Indies
dream.
Yes, it is an Indies dream. And nonetheless, if you see from 5 years ago, where was WWE? WWE was promoting people that,
6'5", 240, all muscle.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, those kids, they were not jobbers. But you see now, the guys that was a jobber before
is one of the most over people.
And he's also on one of the main events. Like, it's crazy. It's surreal. But
who would you consider the champion right now, being the fact Ambrose is in the hold of the title?
It'd be Seth. I think Seth. Because the way they pulled it off, I think was great. The way that they pulled it off, they made it so that they didn't have to put down Seth. They made it so that they didn't have to put down Ambrose. They made it so that was a neutral thing. They said, okay, some shit happened. It fucked up. And they're like, oh, shit. So what the fuck is this? And there was no result. So now they're going to resolve it.
Well, do you think Ambrose is going to win?
There's a chance, I think. I mean, it could happen. But I doubt they're going to put their faith in him now.
I think he will win.
You think he was going to win?
Just to prove that Rollins needs the authority to win. And Rollins said 2 weeks ago, I don't need the authority to win.
Yeah, I mean, this, like you said, I agree. I mean, you saw in the last 2 weeks, what has been happening? They had a storyline where backstage, they're breaking down a little bit. Seth Rollins is not with the authority no more. Plus, this Monday, you saw the possibility of J&J Security. They're not with them no more. And Kane, he's not with them either anymore. So, anything can happen. Like, it has a perspective of anything can happen. But, I mean, it can happen, but
or it could just be the storyline and they actually are still with him.
Yeah, they could just they could just be fooling people. But I think, I got to go with Seth. I think Seth is going to win completely, no doubt.
I'm going Dean just for the fact all these mind games that he's playing with him, with the title and everything, it's all going to come around.
It's all going to come around?
Yeah.
We could. The way that they're promoting this, it's like, okay, the last pay-per-view, there was no result. So this one, there has to be a result. There has to be something has to happen. WWE has a reputation of taking a pay-per-view and turning everything around. Everything that could have been good, they turned it around and made it shit. You looked at the last pay-per-view.
It wasn't that good.
Some of the matches weren't really that good. Yeah. I mean, you looked at it, you're like, okay, what match really stole the show? Owens and Cena.
Yeah.
Anybody could say. If you ask them what is the best match out of that whole pay-per-view,
I was going to say Owens Cena.
Owens and Cena. That's it. But if WWE pull this off and Dean Ambrose does win, that's the only way I think it could work. But besides that, I think they're just going to build Seth as a big bad guy. Because if you see him, they're starting to draw comparisons between him and Edge as an opportunistic, dude. He's ready. He's ready. Or what if he's another possibility? What if someone cashes in on this match?
So you're saying the Money in the Bank match will be at the beginning of the show?
No, it'll be from what I mean. Because if you think about it, it's 3 main events. They could either go one of 3 ways. They could have the world title match, Money in the Bank, and then Owens and Cena, or they can have Money in the Bank, world title match, and then Owens and Cena. either way, Owens and Cena is ending the match. So I doubt they're probably gonna go first, and then they're gonna have the other 2 matches. Really, I really doubt that. They're probably gonna end. Yeah.
Another thing is, if the Money in the Bank is first, you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell if they're gonna cash in.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because 90% of the time, because when Kane won it, it was the beginning of the show. Kane won and he cashed in.
Yep. I mean, at that time, it was also, there was 2 world titles. There was 2 world title matches, so the opportunity was endless. If they, depending on how they schedule it, they can possibly have that, where they do have the Money in the Bank winner cash in right now. But there's another thing too, like you know how the person has the Money in the Bank, it's predictable. Everybody's chanting the guy's name. They're like, remember Dolph?
I was about to say that was the best cash in ever.
I agree. That was probably one of the best cash-ins ever. I think before that, probably the best in my mind was RVD at Extreme Rules. But, to see that,
the only negative thing with that cash-in, he set the date.
Yeah, he set the date.
Cash-in's not supposed to be a set date.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a surprise to the fans.
I mean, it could, but you saw Cena do the same thing, and Cena was just plain dumb for it because there was so much shit going on. Nothing was in his favor. It was all unpredictable, and it was just done from there. But that's the point of his character, to make him look like a, babyface. Oh, I'm a Superman. Nothing's gonna stop me. I'm gonna be able to.
The stupidest cash-in was Sandow, though.
Sandow, yeah, I think that they really broke him.
Dumbest one ever.
No, they broke him. I think he could have gone far had they not gone ahead and made him fail. I think he could have done something.
No, I'm just saying that was the stupidest cash-in ever.
It was. I agree. It was. The way that they did it, it's they killed him. They killed him from there, and you see him now. His momentum started going down, but it started climbing back up slowly.
I like him though. I actually think Sandow is very talented.
I agree. Yeah, but we'll see. What the plan is moving forward. But I mean, if depending on how they plan this, they can either have if they do have.
This might actually be a good pay-per-view though. If everything plays out good.
I
think it could be a good pay-per-view.
True. I mean, what we'll do now, we got like 10 minutes left. Oh no, 5 minutes actually left. What we'll do, we'll recap the last 3 pay-per-views and give our review, okay? So, you ready? You up for this?
Go ahead.
All right, so this is what we'll do. So, we'll start from Elimination Chamber. So, the last 3 pay-per-views. Last 3 pay-per-views were Elimination Chamber, Payback, and Extreme Rules. So we'll start. Just rate them from a 1 to 5 scale, depending booking wise. So we'll start with.
We'll start with the Chamber.
Yeah, the Chamber match.
Go ahead. What do you say?
I give it. It could have been a 4, maybe a 5 out of 5. No, 4 out of 5. I say, but overall, I think it was probably a 3.
Yeah,
3 out of 5.
I go 3, just for the fact there was never an actual final result of the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think the booking of it, they could have done something with it, but I mean, it was understandable to see, that they wanted to promote this for the next match, promote the next pay-per-view. But the WWE has a reputation of fucking up pay-per-views when they had the chance,
Especially the fact when Ambrose won. Yeah, you saw the pop the crowd gave.
Yeah, everybody was on their feet, but then there were some people, on the TV screen, you're like, wait, something's wrong. They're doing something. Something's going to happen. And then when that happened, it's like, what the fuck? You're basically just going to do this? Like, I thought they were going to probably do it like the night after and have something happen right there. But that didn't happen. I was like, wow, it's disappointing to see that, like every wrestling fan, they look at that and they just get disappointed looking at that. They're like, what the fuck?
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Payback.
So Payback. What'd you say? That match had. Let's see. Wait. Let me see. The results.
Sheamus versus Ziggler. The New Day beat Kid and Cesaro.
Rusev versus Cena. I Quit match. This is where Lana came in and they had their whole dispute. The Fatal 4-Way for the world title belt, where the Shield came and the Shield like temporarily reunited.
Oh, for like 13 seconds.
For 13 seconds. I mean, just based on that, on the main event, I'd give it probably about 3.5 out of 5.
I'd give it a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Overall pay-per-view wise?
It was like a. It was 3 push. It was a 3 pushing a 4.
I mean, yeah. I would agree. Like, the way that they had the matches, the way that they structured it, compared to any of the other pay-per-views from either Elimination Chamber or even before that, they pretty much booked it pretty good.
Yeah.
So our last
Extreme
Extreme Rules.
Rules.
So Extreme Rules. Let me think. Where is it? Let me see.
That was Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a street fight, which lasted almost an hour.
Yep. And they were outside. That was creative. I like that. It was, but you know what cool?
That brings back memory.
Yeah.
That brings back memories to Roddy Piper versus Goldust at WrestleMania 13.
Yep, that was pretty. It's like the OJ fight and everything. I mean, it would have been cool if they actually taped it, but it's like they had that result. They both left the building, and after they switch over to something, switch to cameras, and they just had a break. They're like, all right, let's just take a break. Let's just fuck around here. And
that one
like,
also was Cena versus Rusev in the chain match.
Reigns versus Big Show.
Big Show and Rollins versus Orton. That was a 4.
See, I agree. I think that's probably say that's a 4. Even coming out,
because the cage match.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of WrestleMania, this is probably they ended it pretty good compared to last year's Extreme Rules. That was they kind of fucked up. They kind of
I don't even remember last year's.
Last year's
was that bad. I don't even remember it.
I was fucked up. I mean, when you look at it, it's just come on, the way that, and plus it's after WrestleMania.
Let me look back.
Yeah. But for this one, they had it was a cage match, Rollins versus Orton, Roman Reigns and Big Show. I think this one, if you look at
last year's was the pre-show was El Torito versus Hornswoggle in the WLC match.
Yep.
Cesaro versus Rob Van Dam and Jack Swagger.
Mm-hmm.
Rusev versus R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Big E versus Barrett. Okay, there was one good match on this show.
Yeah.
The Shield versus Evolution.
Yeah,
that was a great match.
That was memorable. That whole feud was memorable. It was cool. It was nice. It was nice to see that. But the way that if you see the way that they ended that pay-per-view, it was kind of like, okay, that's how you end the show that after WrestleMania. You want to retain fans. So the best way to retain fans is to give them something, something new, something different. And this pay-per-view, I think, really did, But, I mean, that's, so that's, we'll see what happens this Sunday. Hopefully they'll do something good. Hopefully we see something interesting. Hopefully see something that's probably a 5. But
hopefully we see something that actually will catch everyone's attention.
Hopefully.
Besides the Cena-Owens match, because, that would be amazing anyway.
Yeah. We got 1 minute left, but let me ask you. So what match are you looking forward to the most?
This Sunday?
Yes.
Besides the fact of the Owens-Cena match, probably Rollins and Ambrose.
Rollins and Ambrose? I think.
What about you?
I'd say probably the Money in the Bank ladder match, because if you see the Money in the Bank ladder match, so much can happen. It's unpredictable.
Kofi's going to have his moment.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. They have some kind of moment. They have some spots that are gonna be really cool. Maybe some having some spots that are really like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? Because WWE always finds some way to recreate people and make them, do some spots that are really crazy, especially as of recently, But I mean, we'll have to see all that on the WWE Network.